Oh, we're both wearing white tonight. I just realized that.
New year.
So we're starting
What
this
is
off.
going on, everybody?
Or are we
We
starting
are
this
in
off?
a new year, and we're wearing a different color for the new year. We're both wearing white.
We starting this off with purity.
I guess so.
Snap hole. Let me do the.
I'm pretty sure we're live. I don't know what J Peeps is doing. He's like in his own little world. But welcome to the 2024 debut for the Running Gun Podcast, Season 7, Episode 12. We're going to recap the college football playoff games that happened and preview the next one, which is the ideal version of the ideal outcome that we wanted. It's not the teams that we picked to be the right ones in, but it's the teams that we really deep down wanted in.
I mean, honestly, to be real with you, I thought it was going to be Alabama and Washington. We're going to talk about it, though. But I mean, even though I picked Texas, I thought it was going to be Alabama and Washington. But man, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about, FAMU in the market for a new head coach. Who do they need to hire? We're going to talk about, we have the NFC South and the AFC South are up for grabs tonight. And much, much more. Also, too, the top 15 heavily attended bowl games from this bowl season. How did every single one do? We'll discuss all of it on the other side of this intro. So, as always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You've been here so many times. You might as well like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. You might as well hit the follow button if you're watching on Instagram Live. You might as well follow us on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook Live. You might as well follow us if you're watching on Twitter Live and all these platforms. You might as well go ahead and subscribe to Spotify because it's going to be on Spotify soon too. So you might as well. We are literally everywhere. You cannot dodge us. It is so hard to miss.
Just Apple Podcast. We haven't got the Apple Podcast one. That's the only one we haven't got to yet.
Well, you got Apple money?
Hey, you never know. That might be something coming up down the line. With that being said, stay tuned for the intro. We're going to be on the other side of this coming out. Let's roll it.
Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is GP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Denny Hendricks.
And you're listening to...
And you are listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
So, dude, honestly, my bad. I'm just reading through this Cat Williams thing at the same time, dude. This thing is crazy. This thing is insane. If you haven't seen the Cat Williams thing, I urge you to watch it after you guys watch this tonight. But let's go ahead and portal ruined.
Hey, Drunk's back, right thing, man. He came up and he came out firing. Hey, Drunk, what's up? Happy New Year. I mean, we'll get into this when we get into the college football stuff, but this ain't wrong right here.
Not at all. Not at all.
But we won't have this issue next year, I don't think.
I absolutely agree. It's horrible. But yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Ace, you can go ahead and start us off tonight.
All right, cool. So which one you want to start with, actually? You say for me to start, but I'm going to be real with you. There's a lot of things that happen in the HBCU football realm that some is like, well, I'm pretty sure this already happened, but like, how are we going to go about discussing it? Because it is quite big news with Coach Willie Simmons. It's official, right? He is going to Duke, right?
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and take away Drunk's
right
real quick. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to go. Let me know when it pops up.
It's loading.
Is it there now?
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, so right away, this created a shockwave that was heard all throughout the SWAC and all throughout the FCS. So yes, Willie Simmons took the job according to multiple reports. But once ESPN got a hold of it, it really broke wind. Nobody wanted to believe it until he said it himself, but it was already true. And then he finally said it himself, and he was out. Which, as many FAMU mothers know, 24-hour rules in effect. It's time to move on. So yes, the Willie Simmons era is over in Tallahassee. So the question rises now, who do you hire next? Personally, and I know what Ace is going to say about it, I said AJ Black. This man was a master recruiter before Coach Rispers was on staff at FAMU. You don't believe me? Like look at some of the guys that he got. Imagine him. Especially, it's hard to say no to him now. Especially, he's got NFL experience now, and he's an offensive guru working for Sean McVay. Imagine him and Coach Devin Rispers together recruiting. That's just not fair. And FAMU would just elevate as a program.
For Drunk is right here. It's all about this. This is what it's about. For what Drunk's saying here. Now to what JP said about KJ Black. Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't think it happens. Mainly for him as a person and in his coaching career, I hope he doesn't take the FAMU job, because when you work for Sean McVay, you can look at the history of it. It is pretty much almost a lock that you're guaranteed an NFL offensive coordinator job or a head coaching job one day if you're working under Sean McVay as an offensive coaching staff. And if you do a good job. And if you look at the Rams, they've been pretty good on offense with KJ Black there.
Facts.
So
Facts.
It's kind of like I as him as a person in his coaching career, I don't want him to go to FAMU. Now, if I'm a FAMU person looking at it, I would 100% try to be getting him in the building to take the head coaching job. Yeah. However, there's also the reason of why head coach Simmons left, and it's like he won what he wanted to win, but like an NFL salary versus a FCS salary is two different things. Even compared to a Power 5 salary. So where there's only a $250,000 coaching max that you can be paid as a salary in the state of Florida, and the boosters cover the rest of it. The boosters in a Power 5 program make that, how do I say this? Make the salary be a different compared to an FCS level program. So it's kind of like, you're in NFL, you're making NFL money. I don't think he's going to come to FAMU to make way less. And on top of it, be like, in his career, it's kind of like, why would you do that?
Makes sense. It's very fair. And that's why I said, maybe it doesn't happen with Coach Black. Now, the next one, I'm just going to knock off the two on this photo already. The next one on here is Jawan Sider from Penn State. As you see, Jawan Sider's history is, working alongside, oh my gosh, what is his name? He looks like Key and Peele.
Oh my God. I'm waiting for this.
You're waiting for it from me?
Mm-hmm. I just want to see how long it'll take you.
Oh, I was waiting for you to help me.
Oh, what up, Ashton? Happy New Year, man! This is gonna be very interesting. I don't trust Larry. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Ashton. Oh my God, not Pat Fitzgerald. That's not his name. He's already out. He's already been fired.
Who's James Franklin?
Yeah, James Franklin. I'll do. I was about to say Kirk Franklin, but y'all bear with me. I am not feeling. I'm under the weather this evening.
JP went and he got himself sick. It's understandable. I was sick. I was under the weather though, like 2 weeks ago. So we're all in this together.
But yeah, so I honestly can't see Jawan Sider, former FAMU QB, also by the way, from back in '99. I can't see him coming back. Quinn Gray, I don't think that Coach Quinn Gray is ready. He's a friend of the show. I don't think he's ready yet, and I think he's building something still at Albany State that he wants to stay there for. So I think you can eliminate all three of these. Now, as I unshare my screen, I will say this. A lot of guys have expressed interest in a one Billy role. Ace doesn't know, but yes, he was a former assistant under Here it is, right here, actually. So hold on, I'm gonna share my screen again. Go ahead and
Bro, I'm
share.
looking at this on this camera, and I look like I got a good tan at that Bucks Saints game.
Dude, it wasn't even that hot.
It wasn't hot, but that sun was stinging. I'm watching myself in this camera. All right, hard to imagine this can't.
Is the screen up?
Yeah, it's up.
All right, so Coach Brian actually shared it from HBC Game Day. Coach Roll here was actually considered for the job along with Willie Simmons back in 2018. Now, a lot of players have lobbied for him. A lot of players have lobbied for James Colsey. Coach Colsey used to be a former defensive back underneath Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews at Florida State. And he's also one of the top recruiters on this staff. So realistically speaking, it comes down to who do you really want between the two. I think it comes down to either one of those two guys. I think it comes down to either James Colsey or Billy Roll. It's one of those two. And if I'm A.D. Sykes, I don't look outside. Now, I hope it's not true what I heard about not giving Willie Simmons a raise or saying he didn't deserve a raise. I hope that's not true. But you need to do what's in the best interest of your players and hire this man. Or hire Coach Colsey as the head guy. And for the love of God, retain Devin Rispers. That's how you do it. We got comments.
You know, I know. Nah, this is the last comment. We already had that.
Oh.
Nothing new on the comments, but to this point of the whole situation, right? If you asked me last week what would we be talking about for HBCU football section of the show, I would have said, I'd probably talk about some transfers here and there, you know, what to preview, what to expect, kind of thing. If you told me they wouldn't be paying Willie Simmons and he'd be the running back coach of Duke today, I'd have been like, what the hell you on about, bro? What you smoking? Give me some of that kind of thing.
Dude.
Because I would have said on the show last week, I was like, the only way I see him leaving is probably off it's a Power 5 job. And I mean, it was a Power 5 job, but like, that was like saying, like, you know, it's like, the only way you expect Patrick Mahomes to leave the Chiefs is if he gets, you know, like a ownership stake in some other team kind of thing. You would, it's like, you say something like, you don't expect that to come true kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what like with the whole Simmons thing is like, you didn't expect him to leave, and also like, oh wait, he's leaving. When I got that message, was it Sunday night?
Yeah.
I was like,
because I found out about like that Sunday at midnight, Sunday at 1 a.m. ish.
Yeah, I was still up, and I saw that. I was like,
and I was
going on here.
I didn't want to believe it, but then officially he had put in his resignation papers at like 2 p.m. that Monday. And I was just shocked and amazed. I was even more shocked to see a 3-minute video from the AD saying that this is how this is going to work. I expected.
That was kind of pathetic. And this takes us to the point where Ashton says, like, I ain't trust him on this. I was like, I mean, it took him a minute to find a new AD. It might take him a minute to find a head coach.
Dude, because you got to look at it, man. She missed, or not missed. Well, she may have fouled up the women's basketball hire. That too soon to tell. It may take some time. She pulled out of the Orange Blossom Classic. Some people weren't happy about that. And everybody has their opinions of that as well, you know. And then it's like certain things around the stadium, like game day environment stuff, like the gates to get out. She locked certain ones. Certain gates on Perry Street, she locked. So I don't know what that's about either. But, I mean, my God. If there's one thing you got to hit on, just like a GM needs to hit on a quarterback, at least one in the NFL draft, you need to hit on this when you go to pick this. Because if you swing and miss hard, ooh. And
they coming for you.
This isn't me being sexist. This isn't me being like, you know, oh, because she's a woman and stuff. Like, she's going to pay.
Any person doing the job.
Exactly. I would say this if Tiffany Sykes was a man, if she was white, or if she was black. Like, if you miss on hiring a head football coach to follow up Willie Simmons with the success and championship DNA you have in front of you, oh man, the backlash is going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been above 500 every season since 2018. 6-5 in 2018 under Willie Simmons. In his first year, you were 4-1 at one point. It's just they fell apart at the end there because they didn't have the will to finish. They didn't have the grit. They also lost to Bethune-Cookman that year. 2019 comes 9-2. You get blown out by UCF, and then you lose. I think then they go on this tangent, this tear, just beating everybody, and then you lose again to Bethune-Cookman. So now you realize, like, okay, the goal is get past Bethune now. And then 2021 comes after COVID. You lose to a Dion-led Jackson State team, which you lost off of one missed drag route. And you're like, okay, this is the target now. This is what we're building to beat. And then you beat your rival, you get to the FCS playoffs and you lose. And then 2022 comes. You get blown out by this team that you're trying to build up to stop. And you're wondering, will we ever catch them? Dion leaves. You win the Florida Classic. You get left out of the FCS playoffs. 2023 comes. The stars align. He said this was his best team, and it was. So now you want a Celebration Bowl. Your attendance is going to spike, which is funny that you say that. That's mentioned too, because you know me, I shadow as a student chiropractor. I had someone come to me actually because they saw my tag, my FAMU tag, and they were like, "What is that school like?" And I told them, I was like, "That school is FAMU's awesome. You will love it. You won't regret it. It's the best decision ever." Because they were like, my daughter's considering going there. I was like, she won't regret it. Best decision you could ever make. Asking you, like, honestly, dude, I'll tell you, ever since that Celebration Bowl, that snakehead has carried an even bigger weight.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you go, whether you're in the grocery store, the post office. I was in Planet Fitness and someone said to Rattler just out of nowhere. I was not expecting that.
The vibes around it is different now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's
coming down to Florida. Don't worry, I've seen a lot more FAMU stuff. Like people in Tampa, it's like you're seeing a lot more people wearing a FAMU jacket, a lot more people wearing a FAMU hat, walking around. It's kind of like, oh yeah, cool. Y'all don't know I actually talk about this stuff every week, but it's all good. I see y'all out there.
Hey, I'm telling you, dude. Let FAMU collect a couple more. You're gonna see.
Well,
you're gonna see the reaction. You're gonna see pride like you see with Florida State and Florida. How people just randomly walk around and go to a Chili's with a Florida State sweatshirt on.
There's one thing I hope FAMU doesn't do, and I hope they don't do what the Saints did and give a job to somebody undeserving. Or they keep it in-house and don't do a full search, I should say. Not undeserving. I should say they don't do a full, thorough search.
Oh, hell
and
no.
Try to just say, oh, we're going to try to keep a culture and keep it in-house instead of actually finding the right guy for the job.
And that's why I would hire James Colsey or Billy Roll, or even my wild card here is if you keep it in-house with the coaches on that staff right now, or you hire Coach Smitty, the DC. Any of those three I would be happy with. Keep this train rolling. That's who the guys want. Keep this train rolling, dude.
Well,
can Coach Smitty.
I don't want to be the buzzkill on it, but like half the players want a Dennis. I don't even know how that's gonna work.
And again,
don't worry. I have some stuff here that we need to talk about. There's some serious stuff here we gotta talk about in that next section.
I'll say this to say that this is not the NFL.
I know it's not the NFL, and you have new guys coming in every year, new guys going out every year. However, you got to make sure they are a good recruiter and they're a good leader of men. Because if they're do not either, even though the current team might like them, if they don't know how to keep relating to new people, you're gonna have a lot of issues.
True. 90% chance they keep it in house. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Drunk. I really do, because you have to strike while the coal's hot. You do. And I don't think that you can afford to mess this up. Now, oh my god, I should have posted that. Now, also too, before we do move on, because we've wasted a lot of time on this already.
It's not wasting time. It's a necessary topic.
Well, yeah, it is a necessary topic. Yes. Well, I will say this: A lot of recruits have like stayed loyal to FAMU still, which is something you also do not see. I will say I'm
maybe that's to say they came for the program and not the person. It's unlike a certain school, in Mississippi, where they went for a person and not a program.
I always say, dude, it's about the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back. You need to fall in love with this is literally what I would do. If I was still a college athlete, this is what I would. If I was a college athlete, this is what I would do. I'm finding out what you offer for my major. Can you get me to where I want to go in the classroom as well as on the field? If you can provide me both, I'm yours. Primarily in the classroom, especially a school like FAMU, easy. I'm there. The only thing now at that point is don't lose yourself. Stay focused. But that's all I got. That's all I got for that. So now we can go ahead and transition on over. Now,
all right.
The NFC South and the AFC South are wide open.
This is my depressed face from Sunday.
The Saints play the Falcons this weekend. How you feeling? You might be an NFC South champ. Dennis Allen might get a third year. Let's go for the hat trick, Dennis Allen. How we feeling, Ace?
I'll show you right now. Give me a second.
We need to play some of that Sheether music in the background when Ace gets mad and starts like talking about the Saints and stuff. We need to find some of that.
Bruh, nah, man. Y'all had one job, just one. The Bucks. We went to the game. You saw it. You saw my reactions to that game.
I saw it all right.
You were right there. You heard it. You saw it. I was probably more happier than the Bucks fans when the Bucks scored.
You thought that they were going to still come back late in the third quarter.
Bruh, it is going to hurt my soul when Marshawn gets traded in August and Dennis Allen's still the head coach of the team. And at that point, and they restructure Derek Carr, I'm going to be like, I am done. If that happens, if Dennis Allen is the head coach in August, Marshawn got traded and Derek Carr restructured his contract, I am gone. I'm saying that straight up. That is not bandwagoning. That is saying I am not putting up with my mental health and that shit. Pardon my language. I am saying that right now.
I will say this. I did not know Jamal Williams was still on the team. That's how
Williams is trash. That man is so washed. Don't get me started with him.
I just didn't know. I forgot all about him. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Jump off the bandwagon, man. It's not even bandwagon. It's just like I am making a choice for myself. It's like you follow them for so many years and you're like, okay, and then they're like, we are gonna throw everything down the drain for these two clowns. And we're gonna say, compare Derek Carr to Drew Brees in 2006. That is legit quoting Mickey Loomis saying he would compare Derek Carr's first year to Drew Brees in 2006.
And what would the numbers look like?
Should I pull it up?
Yes,
I'm
please.
gonna pull it up, actually. I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm really curious to see.
Jamal Williams' run carry percentage was terrible. Detroit just had a great offensive line, and he got all the 1-yard touchdowns. That is all.
That's very
2006 stats.
Because he is
our reference. Let's pull it up. 2006, he was with the Saints? Yes.
Yes.
All right, 16 games. He went 10-6 in 2006, right?
Okay.
He completed 64% of his passes, 4,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 picks, right?
Okay.
Cool. Now, Derek Carr, 2023 stats, right? Let's pull it up. And this is, mind you, 2006, when you had the Ravens defense, you had a whole different type of defense schemes, abilities, and what kind of play, whatnot, right?
it was legal to jack somebody up back then and not get a flag or an unsportsmanlike penalty for it.
You could legit decapitate players and not get a penalty.
Yeah.
Now, Derek Carr, 2023, guys. Shall we get into this? 8-8 record. Completed 67% of his passes. Whole lot of checkdowns, but we won't mind it.
Okay.
3,600 yards. 800 yards less.
Okay.
800. 21 touchdowns. So that's 5 TDs less. And 8 picks. A little, he's taking care of the ball, right? Nah, that's all checkdowns. You want to know what his yard per attempt is? Let me see if it is. If it shows it, right? Yards per attempt. 7 yards, give or take. Because he had like 3 deep balls to Shaheed. That's really it. Compared to Drew Brees, who in 2006 yards per attempt was 8. Solid yard more.
Okay. What was the touchdown to interception ratio?
26-11 for Brees, 21-8 for Carr. And 5 of those TDs are in garbage time.
Okay.
800-yard difference.
Yeah, that's true too. And they were 10-6. And I'm sure they won the South? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, got it. Well, they could win the South this weekend. They got to beat the Falcons. And the Bucks have to lose to Carolina. So
It's better not lose.
You're gonna be so
Bruh.
dude.
Bruh, if the Bucks blow this thing, I am never forgiving them. They will go on my permanent hate list.
Because you made the playoffs?
Yeah.
I can't. You're the first person to ever say that. To be upset because
just to get embarrassed by the Eagles. I know the Eagles haven't looked great, but they're still gonna embarrass the hell out of them.
What's funny is like you have Saints fans out there that swear they're getting Michael Penix.
That's not happening because as long as Dennis Allen's the head coach, they're not taking a quarterback. He will never do anything to make his wife stress. And his wife is Derek Carr, by the way. So if you don't get that joke,
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, honestly, I said do whatever it takes, regardless of what happens this season. You got to bring Michael Penix home. I've said that. I will buy that man's jersey. I'll be in there every weekend supporting that man. I'm gonna make the playoffs just to get our back blown out. I'm sick.
See, it's one thing, if you want to say, okay, you fire Allen and you trade Marshawn, that is completely understandable. The way they restructured his contract guarantees he's probably getting traded at this one. It feels like, not guarantees, but it's like a solid 80% chance Lattimore gets traded, right?
It's funny.
Oh yeah, he said he would never play for another team besides the Raiders. He did not retire, by the way. I remember that. Thank you for reminding me. Still there.
He was up there. He got all emotional and stuff and whatnot because he was like, I gave all I had for them and stuff and everything, and they don't want me no more. Man, please.
All that boo-hoo type shit. Nobody likes you, man. I'm gonna be real.
Man, that man gonna lead y'all to a Super Bowl, bro. What you mean? He gonna lead you to the promised land. I'm telling you.
All right, back to the AFC. All right, so the NFC side, right? So basically, Bucks win, they're in. Saints win, Bucks lose, they're in. Bucks better not blow because they're playing the 2-12 Panthers or 2-13 Panthers, or is it 2-14 Panthers?
The Falcons beat the Saints too, and the Bucks lose. The Falcons are in.
So if both the Bucks and Saints lose, the Falcons get in.
Yes. So you just want both to lose now?
Well, I mean, for the sake of both of our mental health, I'm gonna be real. It might be better if both of our teams lose. I'm dead serious.
If Bucks lose this weekend, Todd Bowles is
if Bucks lose, Todd Bowles is gone. Now, if the Falcons win by a lot, Dennis Allen might be gone too.
Yeah, and Dave Canales will get promoted to head coach.
Bro ain't played a real team yet. What you mean? The best team he's played? What you know? The 2 times he's played a real team in both the Rams and the Jaguars, he was terrible in the first 3 quarters and got a fourth quarter comeback because teams stopped playing coverage on him.
Damn.
Now, actually, I need to do something tonight, but it's all good. Derek Carr stats versus the Falcons. I'm pretty sure he hasn't beat them yet. Knock on wood.
I think they lost him earlier this year. Yeah.
Derek Carr is 0-3 versus the Falcons, by the way.
Oh.
Lucky number 4, boys.
Wow. So we're going for 4 this weekend. Ace might have a chance.
Right here. Easiest schedule in the league, and you can only go 8-8. And it's not even like, oh, it's an easy schedule because teams got it. No, it is legit the easiest schedule in the league.
Facts.
It was legit one of the easiest schedules before everybody got hurt, and they played against. Let me tell you who they played against without teams playing right. So the Bucks are 2-in. The Bucks have only beat 2 teams over 500. We saw the stat walking out, right?
Yeah.
Bucks have only beat 2 teams over not 500, but like 500 or better, right?
Yeah.
The Saints, on the other hand, have only won 1 game. So both teams kind of suck, right? But you look at it, right? So they played the Patriots. They lost Christian Gonzalez and Matthew Judon the same week. That was the game they won. They played the Texans, lost 2013. They played the Jaguars, lost 31-24, also in garbage time when they had the score where it was 24-6 going into the fourth quarter. So keep that in mind, right? They were getting their butts kicked going into the fourth. They beat the Colts against Gardner Minshew. Anthony Richardson had been ruled out for the season. Beat the Bears against Tyler Badgett, not Justin Fields. Beat the Vikings they lost to the Vikings without Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. You lost to the Falcons. You lost to the Lions. You were getting your butts beat by the Lions until the Lions decided to choke it. Then you beat the Panthers. You beat the Giants, both of which did not. Like, come on now. Panthers are trash. And then you have the Giants who were playing Tommy DeVito. He's gotten benched. He was not an NFL quarterback. He just had his insanity run. You played against a competent team in the Rams, and you were down 27-7 going into the fourth. And then you beat the Bucks, who were without Carlton Davis. And also somebody else. Who were they out with against Shaq Barrett?
Yeah. Hey.
So, all right, enough about this pathetic division.
All right, so the AFC South is off this weekend.
The fun division.
I don't even know if this is the fun division. It's like, who wants it, honestly?
It's the fun division. It's really the fun division. Who wants it more? So, I'm pretty sure it's a win and you're in type situation for the Colts-Texans game.
Yeah.
Because they're both 9-7, right?
Yeah.
The Colts won the first matchup, I believe. Yeah, the Colts won the first matchup back in week 2.
Yep.
So as of right now, the Jaguars are first in division, barely. Holding on to that at 9-7 because they have a 4-1 division record.
Yep.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. So if the Jaguars win, they win the South, right? But if they lose, they drop to 9-8. And the winner of the Colts-Texans wins the play. They win the how do I say this? They win the division and the wild card.
Yeah,
I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it depends. I think if the Texans win the game, it's a tie. I don't quite know how it works. Actually, it might be because they have the same conference and division records. So I think it might go to points for because
Well, Jackson.
Unless the Steelers win, or the Bills. No, it's the Bills. If the Bills win, they get the wild card spot. It's kind of complicated. Because as of right now, it's the Bills and the Colts are the wildcard teams for the available playoff spots outside of the Jaguars one, right? Because the Browns already guaranteed the 5th seed. It gets interesting, though, when you see it as the Broncos are eliminated. Bengals are eliminated, I believe. Well, I think they're eliminated because Bengals are 0-5 against the division.
Broncos and Bengals are both eliminated.
So, yeah, it's pretty much between the Steelers, Texans, Bills, Colts, and Jaguars for the last 3 playoff spots.
Yep.
Ooh, wow.
And you have the Bills on Sunday Night Football down in Miami against the Dolphins.
That is the division champion.
No, the Bills have to win to get in.
No, the Bills have to win and you're in kind of thing, but it's also division champion on the line. Well, that's
Yeah.
also if unless the Colts and Texans somehow tie.
Yeah, I think Miami's winning that still. I'm sorry.
Honestly, like I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
Miami's
Didn't Buffalo beat them earlier this year? I think the Buffalo won the first one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Buffalo won the first one 48-20.
it was up there though. They got to come down here. It's gonna be humid, but it's gonna be at night too, so we'll see.
Now we got a cold front coming Saturday.
Well, that means stay in the house.
It's 100% chance to rain by me
Wow.
on Saturday, so it's gonna be nice and cool Sunday and the night down
All right,
in
so
Miami.
if
That's
he's-
gonna be a fun one.
If meteorologist Ace is wrong, you guys know where to find him.
Anyways, so basically the Dolphins are guaranteed a playoff spot, but the Bills have to win and they're in. So if the Bills win, which I think they might, that means they are the 2 seed. They jump Kansas City because they own the tiebreaker over Kansas City. So that would be the Ravens as the 1st seed, Bills as the 2nd seed, Chiefs are the guaranteed 3rd seed. The winner of either the Jags or Colts Texans games are the 4th seed. The Dolphins are the 6th seed, I believe. Yeah. Dolphins would be the 6th seed. And then one of either the Steelers, if the Steelers win, I believe they would be the 7th seed. Which would bring an interesting question of if Kenny Pickett is healthy, do they still play Mason Rudolph in the playoffs?
That's tough.
Because Mason Rudolph, outside of these 2 games, has not been good. And it's kind of hard to determine if he was on a Tommy DeVito type run or if he's actually legit. Which I think is more of a Tommy DeVito type run.
It might be. I think it is. Honestly, I think it is. But yeah.
So it brings up the interesting questions of what is going to go happen in the AFC playoffs. I think it's going to go probably Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Jags. Not Jags. Jags play the Titans, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Jaguars play the Titans in Tennessee. No, I think the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is going to gut it out, and Tennessee's secondary is terrible. So I think the Jaguars will be fine because Christian Kirk's coming back. So I think Jaguars get the 4th seed, and I think Texans get the final spot.
Right. Now, this is the question here.
Because Texans beat the Steelers earlier this season.
How much better than everyone else is Baltimore?
Should have said how much better is Baltimore than everybody else.
They know what I mean.
Yeah. True.
Honestly, you saw what they did to the.
I think it's a big margin, and the funniest part is they lost Mark Andrews, and they're doing this to teams. Like Lamar should win MVP in my opinion.
I'm telling you,
especially after the how do I say this nicely? The butt whooping he gave Tyreek Hill's team, that kind of takes him out. The butt kicking he gave Brock Purdy's team, that takes him out. That's also Chris McCaffrey's team, so that takes him out too. So it's kind of like.
My thing is wait till Mahomes and roll into M&T Bank. That's gonna be a long-awaited ass kicking.
Lamar's gonna kill him.
Oh, dude, easily. You saw what the Raiders did to them.
Nah, the Chiefs got some issues, and they gotta rest players. Like, they need every wide receiver out there playing that game because those wide receivers outside of Rashee Rice are terrible.
They don't need Kadarius Toney to play. They don't need him to play.
Well, actually, since they're resting everybody, they might as well just let him get his hands straight. Because if he can get his hands straight, he's not like horrible, but he can't catch a ball, so he is terrible.
It's funny how people say everything that Mahomes is going through now, Lamar went through that to start his career.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar has been.
The funniest part is, Zay Flowers should have been a Charger.
Yeah. And the funny thing is when you look at it, how much more humble Lamar is versus Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
when you notice when things don't go Lamar's way, Lamar's still cool, calm, and collected. When things don't go Mahomes' way,
Mahomes start crying.
yeah, and that's what you like to see, particularly in a black quarterback. You love to see that. I'm not belittling Mahomes as a black quarterback, but I'm just saying like I like the maturity that I see from Lamar. Because when you look at Lamar, white America will tell you, oh, he's not supposed to look like that.
He's not quarterbacky enough. That was the funniest part. They said last week he's not quarterbacky enough. He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions.
So white narrative.
She's getting the Washington wild card. I got money on it. Well, drunk, I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Chiefs are gonna be guaranteed either the God dang it, I watched this thing. They're guaranteed either the Dolphins or they're guaranteed the Texans, I believe. Because wait, am I right? Am I looking at this right? Because if the Bills lose, they drop to 9-7. Wait, hold up. No, if the Bills lose, the Steelers are in, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we've been knew this, bro. Come on, we've been knew this.
I mean, honestly, look, hold on now. It's hard for me to say that and admit that because Vic went away for a while for his own personal reasons. We don't know what Vic could have really been. We don't know.
He did some of that to himself, though.
He did. You're right. He did. But it's hard for me to say that because we didn't really see Vic be what he could have been. What if Vic didn't go away? We don't know. Because Vic was
who? I'm trying to figure out who has the tiebreaker between the Bills and the Steelers. I think it's the Steelers, to be honest with you. That's going to be the funniest part. But the Steelers have to win, because if the Steelers win, they have the Ravens game. Because the Ravens are sitting people, but then again, the Ravens might still win that game. Because if the Steelers lose, right? I'm still trying to figure this whole thing. Lamar can do a 10-year sentence and come out better than Vic.
Come on, man. Now y'all tripping. Hold on now.
This whole thing is too complicated to figure out, man. So, wait. I'm trying to look at it. How many 9-8 teams, right?
Henry Ruggs will not be what he once was when he comes back out. He won't even have a job.
How long did he get?
Honestly, for killing somebody, he should have got life.
No, but how long did he get? 10 years?
Let's see.
He got 30. I don't remember his sentence at all. My brain forgot about his ass.
3 to 10.
3 to 10. Oh, wow. He got off easy. For killing somebody and a dog, he got off way easy.
I know. He should have got life, if I'm really being honest. I hate to say that, but he should have got life.
Mm-hmm. For DUI, killing somebody, yeah, he should have got life. All right, so pretty much it's the Bills win the AFC East, or they get a playoff with a tie. They have to tie or win to get in, pretty much. There is no way for them to lose and get in. But if Houston loses, Houston has to win to get in too. So that's pretty much those two guys are set. Indianapolis, it's win and a Jacksonville loss. So wait, if Houston wins, they win the AFC South? No, they just get a wild card spot with the win. So this will win and you're in for them. Indianapolis, it's win and you're in.
That's big for CJ as a rookie.
Uh-huh. I think he honestly had a better rookie year than Andrew Luck did. Andrew Luck got a wild card spot too, but like statistically and stuff, like I just feel like CJ's been better.
Yeah, he'll grow. I'm telling you, man, the Texans don't miss on quarterbacks, dude. They don't.
Wait, are the Steelers eliminated? No, Pittsburgh is right here. So Pittsburgh gets a playoff spot with a win and a Buffalo loss. Or a win, a Jacksonville loss. Wait. That's interesting. They could lose. If Jacksonville loses, Denver wins, and Houston and Indianapolis doesn't end in a tie they're in. What the hell? That's way too wild for my brain to comprehend.
Football.
Football does not make sense anymore. Who the hell is Denver playing? I gotta check that now.
All right, with that, we will go ahead and
NFL.
switch.
Denver. Move on. Broncos, Raiders.
While he's still doing that, we're gonna go ahead and switch this
That's
over.
enough.
So, didn't even have that up still. So that being said, yeah, geez, I need some NyQuil.
JP's dying here.
I know y'all all saw the 14 playoff. This is the last year of the 14 playoff. So, interesting fact. The first 14 playoff and the last 14 playoff, the national championship will not feature a team from the South.
Oh, yeah, you saw when I put that up?
Dude. Man, look. It's crazy how that happened.
The first one and the last one don't have an SEC team in it, and the first one and the last one is both a Pac-12 versus Big Ten matchup.
Yeah. Dude, it's insane, dude. It's like, because the thing is you had Michigan players saying Florida State should have been there. You have Florida State players on Twitter saying, wow, it's funny. The two one-loss teams got in and they shouldn't have been there. And I'm like, look, I know everybody.
Now, to be fair, it should have been Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Georgia. I'm gonna be real.
I agree. Because honestly, I mean, Washington, I think this is just who Washington is. They play these close games all the time. I think that's just who they are. But
and the key part is they're winning those close games.
Exactly. Good teams find ways to win close games. Now, I will say this. I know people are going to say, oh, Florida State got drugged by Georgia. Florida State, dude.
A lot of Florida State did not play.
Exactly. Now, I think Florida State would have still lost, but the margin wouldn't have been as great. Florida State probably would have lost. I've told people in circles that are Georgia fans, if Florida State was at full strength, Jordan Travis never breaks his leg either. Florida State probably loses that game 31-21.
Nah. That game would have been more of a one-score game.
Really? You think so?
Well, if Jordan Travis doesn't get hurt, they're playing Washington, and they probably beat Washington with that front four.
Fair. That's fair. So, yeah, man, look, there's a lot of backlash on Twitter about, because honestly, you know what was funny about it was they kept talking, Greg McElroy and Sean McDermott, what's his name? He called the Sugar Bowl with Greg McElroy. Sean McDonough. Yeah. So they were both saying, like, oh, it's ironic that, Texas, they fought so hard all season, overcame so much and everything. And they fought themselves out of a corner and stuff all year. And I'm like, dude, that was literally Florida State. The last two games.
Florida State got done dirty.
They did. Now, I say that to say this. Do you still expect Florida State to compete for a title again in 2024? Hell yeah, I do. They're pissed off. All them dudes that took that ass whooping on the chin.
Oh, they coming back and they can come with a vengeance.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. They are pissed. And they're going to recruit guys that are going to want to play there and play in these bowl games. And next year, the field expands. If Florida State climbs into the top 4, they're in, regardless.
Top 12.
Yeah, and I think first 4 get a bye week?
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Florida State, man, look. Man.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's going to be set up like how the NFL playoffs used to be before they went into the 14-team playoff, pretty much, where it's the top 2 seeds of each conference. They'll be split up into 2 brackets, and the top 2 seeds of each bracket side will get a bye week.
They went based off rankings. Because they said the first 4 get byes.
No. I'm saying it's going to be set up where it's top 4 teams are basically the 4 that get the byes, but it's kind of like similar to how NFL's brackets, where it's like these 2 guys get the byes, and then you have the 2 wildcard games, kind of.
Oh,
you have 4 total wildcard games, which are the other 8 teams. They play each other 1 week, and then the 2 winners from each of those games go to the 2 bye week teams, and they play those games. And then you have the championship games, and then the final game.
That sounds about right then. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, dude, that's it's gonna be interesting because honestly, too, I've already said it. I feel like you're gonna get 4 or 5 SEC teams in that field still. It's gonna be set up like that. The SEC is switching over to ESPN full time from away from CBS, and then you got this 12-team playoff that's gonna allow for more teams. So I take it the last week off work pretty much every year, and I enjoy 24/7 bowl games. I found myself watching seniors and freshmen all week.
So it's pretty much guys playing their last college football game and guys who haven't played all year getting their first snaps. Everybody who's draft eligible or sophomores go to the transfer portal or to the draft.
Okay, I was trying to decipher how you said that, but
this takes us back to what Drunk said. The very first moment we opened the show is like portal ruin bowl week is 100% accurate because everybody went into the transfer portal. They don't play.
The portal, the opt-outs. Leonard Fournette was the first player to ever really opt out, and then it's been this spiral ever since. We didn't have this problem with the BCS, but I'm like Kirby. Someone needs to look at this and fix this because even Kirby said it too. He did not enjoy that. Kirby wanted Florida State full strength. Kirby didn't think that was fun. Now Georgia fans,
was what 63-3, right?
Yeah, Kirby did. Dude, Kirby was not happy about that because he was like, "That's horrible for college football."
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't think we'll have to deal with this as bad next year. Like the smaller bowl games, you will have to deal with it because it's gonna inevitably come for the teams that don't make the playoffs. But when the playoffs do come, it's gonna be guaranteed teams. Those guys are guaranteed playing those games. They ain't sending those games out.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. Now the funny thing was, they looked at it and expanded it to the 12-team playoff based on this year's rankings. I think it was like Oklahoma and Ole Miss just got left out, which makes sense. I didn't think Oklahoma deserved it, to be honest with you, especially after how they played against Arizona. And
oh yeah,
Ole Miss, that's kind of dirty. They in that scenario, they do Ole Miss dirty.
No, he's still projected top 10, like not top pick, but like top 15 guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, I expect Florida State to compete for the title again. I wholeheartedly do. A lot of people may think they're done and dead, but they're going to compete.
Nah, I think they'll treat it like how now if they were, it's still they're gonna play. They're gonna want to win.
Yeah, you're gonna want to win a championship. If you're gonna sit in that, you're screwing your team, dude. You are screwing your team. So, for instance, let's say Colorado makes it. Well, you know what? Let me choose a better team because Deion Sanders ain't nobody sitting on that team. Everybody's gonna be in that. Let's use a different one. Let's say Clemson. Let's say Clemson makes it as like the second ACC team. Dabo ain't gonna put up with that. Or as they say, Dabo Luther King. Let me stop.
Nah, them guys, the competitive nature of people will play that game, those playoff games. But are they adding 2 more games to team schedules, or they're taking games out of the schedule to put in it?
Well, with conference realignment and stuff, you know that you're getting more. I think you're getting more games because it looks loaded. It looks loaded based off Georgia's schedule for next year. They got to go to Alabama. I think they do get Georgia. They get Florida and Jacksonville, and they get Texas.
Who
is loaded? Georgia.
Oh yeah, but you said they go. They play Georgia. Georgia plays Georgia.
Oh my bad, Alabama. They go to Alabama. September 28th.
Yeah, so. No, I do think you see a couple of group of 5 teams sneak in. At least 2.
Oh, yeah. The other team I wouldn't sleep on either because they just got, what's his name? Van Jefferson? Not Van Jefferson. The Jefferson kid from Arkansas. UCF.
KJ Jefferson.
Yeah. Dude, dude, I am so sick. I need to get off of here. But yeah. So KJ Jefferson and dude, UCF's gonna be good next year. They may have lost that bowl game, but UCF's gonna be good. I'm telling you.
No, projection on Mizzou next year. I think Mizzou's gonna be right back where they were. You know what I mean? Like between that top like 8 to 15 range, they're gonna be somewhere in that range. I could easily see them being one of the 4 SEC teams in it.
Dude, I'm telling you now, this is the SEC's field. Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, Texas. The SEC might get 6 teams in. I can't see.
And you also have the Pac-12 is gone, but then you have the Big Ten with the Michigan, Ohio State are 2 teams guaranteed in it. Washington's going to be in it probably.
Well, Washington,
actually, I don't know if Washington depends on who Penix's replacement is.
I don't think they have a viable one, dude. I don't know. They might take a step.
I think Washington might take a step because they're losing Odunze and McMillan, I think.
Yeah. Now you got to worry about. Well, Oregon might take a step back too. And so
Nick's gone too.
Yeah,
but they got Dylan Gabriel and somebody else. They got 2 transfers.
They might be all right then. And then you got to think about Colorado. You never know if they're going to come back.
Mizzou back relevant. What a time to be.
Dude, I expected them to beat Ohio State too. I really did. I was happy to see that. And then what was funny about it was they were like $1,000 for every touchdown, and Ohio State didn't even get a touchdown. They just got a field goal. So I was like, it was only Missouri that scored. And it was only like $2,000 towards teachers. And I was like, man, people in this game really hate teachers.
Bruh. Time to be alive, I guess.
Facts. Well, all right, Ace, let's wrap this up because I need to go later.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Getting horrible by the minute. I need some NyQuil. All right, folks.
Well, guys.
Evening.
With that being said, I'm gonna do the closing because JP is too sick to talk.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Oh.
All right, JP, hush. I'll do with this. You take a break.
Yeah.
With that being said, guys, thank you for a great return to 2024. Shout out Drunken Ashton for the great comments, as always, and all the people who are watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Shout out to y'all, too. Make the channel go as we go. With that being said, be a friend to a friend, like, share, subscribe, and we will be back next week, Wednesday, to recap the College Football Championship game. We'll have a new College Football Champion for the last time of the 14 playoff format. Everybody get some prayers out. T's and P's for J Peeps to not feel better. Oh yeah, the list came out for that.
Dude, watch the Cat Williams too. Boy, that was
crazy. Yeah. Also, yeah, pretty much. We're gonna talk about NFL playoffs. The brackets will all be set up. Matchups for wildcard weekend will be out by next week. So we'll preview those things and get into all that. Men's basketball and women's basketball. Shout out Caitlin Clark with that amazing 3-point shot to win the game last night for Iowa. I believe it. Yeah, she's on Iowa. Shout out her for that game. That was great. Yeah, March Madness right around the corner. We'll get into that as that happens. With that being said, be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday. Good night. Peace out. JP, say your last words and run the outro.
Good night. I need NyQuil.